What's going on? That's Textbook Sports Squad. I appreciate all my listeners, everyone tuning into this podcast, tuning into the podcast videos that I've made. I appreciate your support. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now let's just get into it. Let's start off with what happened yesterday. Now, if in the summer I were to have told you that Damian Lillard gets traded, and I wanted you to finish the sentence, I say Damian Lillard gets traded to. In the summer, you would have finished the sentence and said, the Miami Heat. Just yesterday, doesn't turn out that that is the case, but Damian Lillard does get traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. The full trade details: Bucks get Damian Lillard, Bucks move Jrue Holiday to Portland. The Phoenix Suns are also the third team that's in this deal. They move off of DeAndre Ayton. They get some depth. But I don't always like to say, well, who won the trade? Because in a trade, you can have both teams win, or a lot of whole teams can win. But ranking this trade, I'm going to go, of course, number one goes to the Milwaukee Bucks. Number two, I like the Portland Trailblazers, and I have them ranked second, and here's why. Just because this is a ball club that is rebuilding. They're investing into the young talent that they have with Scoot Henderson. They have Jeremy Grant, Anthony Simons. They have Jrue Holiday. Now, there's a playoff-needy team. Been reports that the Golden State Warriors are interested in trading for Jrue Holiday. So what could Portland get if they were to trade Jrue Holiday? They could get Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody. They can still get someone else who's maybe, let's say it's a veteran, or someone like Jonathan Kuminga or Moses Moody, who are really young star talents. I like Portland in this trade. I have them ranked second. Moral of the story is they traded Damian Lillard. Now they can trade Jrue Holiday, so you're getting more than a lot of other teams in this deal. Thirdly, and it's a really close third, and I'm not putting them third to say that they're last. I know within rankings, the team that you have last in any kind of ranking gets the worst, but I don't think the Phoenix Suns get the worst, just because you already have Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. Now, you added in Bradley Beal in the offseason. You move off of DeAndre Ayton, who's someone the coaches and everyone in that organization, the fans even, wanted to move off of. You add more depth for the star talent that you already have, and the starting five you already have. They had a really good offseason too. So in my opinion, looking at this trade right now, I like all teams winning in this deal. I think all of them have some really positive things that they can take away. The sports bookies they're already getting at it. They have Milwaukee as the favorite to win the NBA title. Here's where I'll start to talk about how this Damian Lillard trade to Milwaukee really plays in for the Milwaukee Bucks. What are the positives of it, and what are the cons of it? Positives, obviously you get Damian Lillard, you pair him with Giannis, another player to his talent level, another number two he can rely on. Now, the pick and roll with Dame and Giannis is going to be absurd. How is the defense going to defend this? And I want my audience to comment in how do they think a defense is going to defend the pick and roll of Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. You can't play drop coverage because Damian Lillard is a lethal, one of the best, an all-time great three-point shooter, and shooter overall. You can't press Dame in the pick and roll, just because if you do, you got Giannis down in the middle, and we know Giannis already. He's the Greek freak, and he's called that for a reason, just because he's a freak in the paint and near the basket. So it's going to open up the floor. But then here's the next thing. You lose Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday is an elite guard and perimeter defender. How are you going to replace that? Just because Dame is not a great defender. You would have liked to have kept Drew Holiday, but to get someone on a talent level of Dame, you had to give up something really valuable. So where's the perimeter defense for Milwaukee? Where is the overall depth? Because this is a team that before had really good depth. Where do they get it from? They like the rookie Marjon Beauchamp. He's looked really good, and he's a really savvy and good defender. Got the physical tools you look for. Brook Lopez is there. Center, obviously, this team has the height, they have the size. But for Chris Middleton, Middleton was in that number 2 role. And as the number 2, you get a lot more opportunities, and each shot doesn't take on as much importance. Now, he's the number 3. Each shot is going to take on too much importance. And this is a Milwaukee Bucks team, when you look at the collection that they have, in the big 3 they have, they're really ball-dominant offensive players. Giannis gets his points. He's a very good alley-oop player too. Maybe that's something we haven't seen. Maybe the acquisition of Damian Lillard shows that, hey, he's really good on cuts. Obviously, we all know he's a good alley-oop defender. I mean, not defender, alley-oop player. But for Middleton, how are you going to incorporate him into the offense? Because it's good, and I think you're the favorites in the East when you have Dame and Giannis. Just because outside of Boston, it's really open in the East. Now Boston, they're always that team we think is going to come out of the East. Now they did in 2022. But for years, it's felt like Boston's always been that team. They have the elite talent, but it just somehow, some way doesn't work. Murphy's Law somehow finds its way with the Boston Celtics. So the biggest thing that I think Milwaukee has to fix is, how are we going to incorporate Chris Middleton? Because Middleton is really good in the mid-range game, and he goes into the post and then he finds his mid-range jump shot. That's what he's really good at. But now that Dame's bringing the ball up the court and he's the ball dominant, how are you going to find touches for Middleton? Maybe Dame is willing to give up some touches for Middleton. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. Now, as for favorites in the East for Milwaukee, it's a really open East, and of course, we like Boston every year. They're definitely top 2. I'm going to put them at 2 just because we're still trying to see how it's going to pan out, and we don't know. I mean, preseason is coming up first week of October, really soon. We don't know how it's going to function and how this is all going to pan out for Milwaukee. Now, for the Miami Heat, this was the worst news that they could have had. Pat Riley apparently, or reportedly, put out an offer, said this is the best you're going to get. I'm not improving it. That offer kind of just sat idle. Doesn't pan out. And I'm curious to know what that offer was, because Milwaukee, giving up Drew Holiday is a big loss. But when you're getting Damian Lillard, you can say, okay, we can survive without it. But Milwaukee didn't give up as much. I mean, what? Some bench guys, a first round pick, a pick swap, and Drew Holiday. So what was Miami's offer? Because that Miami team is someone that really needed a player like Damian Lillard for Jimmy Butler. They don't get it. Now they're stuck in the same situation they were before. Who else outside of Jimmy is going to help them? And as I mentioned, what was that offer? Because if you were saying we're going to give up a first round pick, Tyler Hero, Gabe Vincent, then that's not enough. That's not going to cut it. And really, the Miami Heat and Pat Riley sitting idle at it really nipped them in the behind. So those are my thoughts on it. That's my thoughts on the Damian Lillard to Milwaukee Bucks trade, the Woj bomb, that social media is infatuated with, the Shams Charania bomb that everyone's infatuated with, especially when it comes to trades and the NBA offseason. That's what happened down in the NBA. Let me know, my audience, in the comments what y'all think. Does this trade and acquisition put Milwaukee as the favorite in the NBA? If they're not the favorite in the NBA, do you think they're the favorites in the East? Let me know in the comment section what y'all think. I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have a fantastic day. God bless. Take care. And until next time,